Well, okay, there's your morning song, classic Eagles song, Hotel California. Could be familiar for some of you. And what's familiar for some of you is the next section, 3.2. This is for Math 150. 3.2 continues on where we left off for graphing, an introduction to graphing. So let's see what 3.2 is all about. So my first page that you have in your packet, the first page just gives you 5 different versions of a line. We've looked at briefly in the last section what's called standard form. And then we looked at one example of each, the vertical line and the horizontal line. And these are a couple of the forms that we'll be spending more time with in future sections. So as I said, just like in 3.1, you got a table of values. These that you're going to be getting, you get to pick the numbers that you plug in. Where 3.1, they gave you the numbers to plug in, so you get to pick. So let's see if this is the first thing I want you to do. Yeah, let's do the first one. So make a table of values like this. Here's your X, here's your Y, X and Y. And you get to, let's do 3, like we had before, 3. And you get to pick any number you want to plug into any variable you want. Guess what's the easiest number to choose and plug in? That's right, 0. So let's let X be 0. Let's let X be 0. So here's your work. Here's the work. Not walk, that was weird. So X is 0, so it's -2 times 0, and 4 times something is equal to 8. That's 0. So it looks like 4 times 2? Sure, 4 times 2. Now if I plotted that over here, 4 times 2, 0, 2, should be right there. Okay, now you get to pick a number and plug it into any variable you want. And why not use 0 for Y? Because right now, 0 was for X. That's going to be the easiest thing, is always pick 0 and plug it into X for one of them and plug it into Y for the other. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to let Y be 0. So I'll go back up to here and I have -2 times X plus 4 times 0. That equals to 8. So if you divide by -2 here, you're going to get, ultimately, X is equal to -4. So here's -4. Now go over here, X is -4 is sitting way over here to the left, and Y is 0. And for the most part, you're done. You can connect the dots, but I want a third just to make sure we didn't make a mistake. So now this is where it gets interesting, because you could pick any number other than 0, any number, and replace it for either X or Y. And depending on the number, you might get a nice value for the other one, or it might be some weird fraction. Don't worry about the fractions. We'll just approximate where it is. So many of you are saying, well, let's try 1, probably. So what variable do you want to plug 1 into, X or Y? Most of you probably say X just because it's the first one. So let's do that. Just let X be 1. Here's the work down here. Here's the original. So now this doesn't go away. You end up with -2 plus 4Y is equal to 8. So now you're going to have to solve this for Y. A little bit of work. You're going to add 2 to both sides. Okay, 8 plus 2 is 10. I'll do it over here. And now you divide by 4. So you get y equals 10 over 4, which 10 over 4 reduces to 5 halves. So 2 and a half, 5 halves, 2 and a half, 1 comma 2 and a half, 1 comma 1, 2, and a little bit more. Yep, it looks like they line up good enough for me to draw a line through it and then be done. So this section, you get to pick the numbers you want to use. Okay, T-table. So this, a little different form. Actually, this is a nice form because all you have to do is pick values for X because Y is sitting there waiting for something. Just pick the numbers for X only, like for instance, 0. How about 2? And how about 5 for the heck of it? Just see what happens. Let X be 0. So here's your work. That's Y equals 2 times 0, which is 0. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, X is 2. So Y equals 2 times 2, which is 4. Let's try the 5. So Y equals 2 times 5, 10. Plot the points, X and Y. Remember what that's called right there in the middle? Yeah, the origin. 2 comma 4, 5 comma 10. Now notice on my grid, I'm off the picture for 10. I'll just approximate where it is. So 5, this is the hash mark 5, up to, now that's 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it looks like that lines up. Connect the dots. At least these bottom 2, I can connect the dots, but I'll do it up here too. And you've got your line. Next one. Okay, again, since Y is all by itself, pick numbers for X. Pick numbers for X. For instance, let X be 0 is always a nice one. Here's your work. Zero plus 4, Y equals 4. Okay, plot that point right here. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting because you can pick any number you want for X. Like if I put the number 1. But if I put the number 1, I've got some fractions I'm going to have to deal with. So sometimes it's convenient. Notice the denominators too. If you pick multiples of 2, like 2, 4, 6, -2, -4, then you won't have fractions. So look at the denominator since it's 2. If I pick a 2, and let's say I pick, oh, let's just for the heck of it, pick -4. So any multiple of 2 will make the denominator go away. So this one here, I go Y equals, okay, that's still -1/2, but times 2, and then plus 4 here. And these go away. You're still left with a -1 though. So much easier than having to deal with fractions though. This one just plain old 3. So 2 comma 3 is sitting right there. That again is 2 comma 3. And I said, let's just do -4 just to do something a little different. -4 for X. Y equals -1/2. Okay, times -4. and plus 4. Okay, 2 goes into 4 twice, and 2 negatives make a positive. So I get positive 2 plus 4, y equals 6. Now, they all have to line up, so we'll see if negative 4 comma 6 is in line with this one. So negative 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like I did okay. It looks like I did not make a mistake. Okay, draw a line, connect the dots, be done with it. Seems pretty easy. I know it's a little bit of work, especially if it's been a while since you've done anything like this. So maybe I use the word easy too loosely, but give it a try on your homework. Remember, do the odd problems because you got the answers in the back of the book. Last 2 problems. Okay, these are the special ones. You see how y equals negative 4? Just stick it right there, y equals negative 4, and you get to pick anything you want for x. How about 0, 3, and negative 1, just for the heck of it. Okay, remember this is the x-axis, and that's the y-axis. So 0 comma negative 4 is down here. 3 comma negative 4 is down here. And negative 1 comma negative 4 is right here. And you connect the dots. And you have what's called the horizontal line. And then in like manner, you got x and y. Might as well let x be 3 because that's what it says. And y gets to be anything you want. So really, if I knew what the line looked like, which this one's going to be a vertical line. This one's a horizontal line for y equals. This one's going to be a vertical line. All you really have to do is find 3 on the x-axis and then make your line. If you really want to do it that way, it's pretty fast. If you don't, I want to make sure, then plot anything you want, like 0, 1, and 4, and then you'll see where that they line up. So right there, 3 comma 1 and 3 comma 4. Yeah, you see it all lines up and connect the dots. All right. So there's your, I don't know, abbreviated or quick. There wasn't a lot of examples, but I think between my examples and your textbook, you could figure this thing out. Okay, until next time, take care, have a great day, and be safe.